All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for hopping on again. We are so glad that you are here. We are excited that you guys want to improve your business by showing up every single day, because it's not about how talented you are, it's about how consistent you are. So continue to show up, keep working on the skills, and keep showing up, right? Let's be around people who want to win. So today we're going to be talking about decreasing to increase. Okay. So whether you believe it or not, there are things that are going on right now in your business and in your life that you're needing to actually do less of, so that way you can do more of what you should be doing, right? So let's start off with, actually, you know what? If you guys can, in the chat, what do you think that you're doing too much of right now that you should be doing less of? The first step to really, building awareness around the first step in fixing the issue is identifying it, right? So what do you think you're doing right now in your business that you're probably doing too much? Yeah, distractions. Yeah, no, I mean, that is completely right. Having your social media on all day. What else do we have here? What are you doing too much of during the day that you should probably be doing less of? Wow. Okay. Well, I guess none of you guys go for snack breaks too much. So I guess I'm the only one on that one. I go for too many snack breaks. That's who I am. So, all right. Well, let's keep moving. So our first one that we want to let go of or that we need to decrease is our ego. If you want to grow and you want to increase, you have to decrease your ego. Now, what does that mean? When you have a high ego, it really stunts your growth, right? Because when your ego is up here, you already believe you know everything. So you're not allowing verticals to happen in your life. Does that make sense, guys? Like, can you guys hear me?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Yeah. So when your ego is up there, it's really hard to grow. And I know when I was younger, I had this issue. I was like, man, I know everything. Especially when I was newer in the business. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm not paying a freaking broker 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%. Because I already know. Like, I can figure this out. But we have to let our ego go, because it's not our amigo, right? So does anybody have a good scenario or situation where they realized their ego was getting in the way and it wasn't allowing them to grow, and they had some type of breakthrough moment? Does anybody want to share a time where they had that? Oh, okay. Ego is high today, huh? No, I'm just kidding, guys.
My friend, I think for me, I don't think I never have ego with me. It's not my amigo. It's not part of my life, because okay. I love to share. And you know what? I'm always listening to everybody. I'm always listening, and I love to learn from more people. So let's say, for example, I was taking a class with my coach, with my Ferry, and she was telling me something. Do you know this, Marilu? And I said, no. And my son, he said, yeah, you know, mom. I said, no, just wait for her to explain. So we had to be humble always, especially in this business.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You have to be humble. And I feel like egos really kill your curiosity, right? You don't leave room for curiosity or questions if you believe that what you know is absolute. You're just stunting your growth. So we gotta let go of the ego. Okay, we gotta decrease it so we can increase. So number 2. Let me delete this. What is this going on here? Oh, the heck. All right, amount of time wasted. So if we can decrease the amount of time we waste, then we can absolutely increase our business. So I want you guys to think of it like this. If, let's just say myself, if I followed you around for 8 hours in a day, how many hours did you actually work? How many hours did you actually prospect and follow up and do what you needed to? I hear some people laughing because I see it. They're like, oh man, I probably work. I mean, in the chat, and let's be honest, right? I mean, it's okay to be vulnerable, right? Remember, level 1, we're letting our ego go. So how many hours do you guys think you're working right now? And it's okay, you know. How many hours do you think you actually work out of 8 or out of 10? 4 hours. Awesome. Okay, Eric, there you go. 2 hours. Who is that? Who's working 2 hours?
Abril.
Oh, yeah. She's operating from source. She's high level source, and the business just flows to her. She's high in her feminine energy. So I love it. I love it. Well, yeah. I think identifying it, right? Just imagine what would your potential and what would your business and how much value and money you'd be able to provide into your life if we just focused, right? And I'm not telling you that you have to be on the phones 8 hours a day, because it's really, really hard to be on the phone for 8 hours a day and be focused and have good conversations. Because another way to look at it is, if you're not mentally ready to have these phone calls, then you're kind of wasting your time with these conversations because you weren't prepped to have these conversations, or you're just tired. So that's like, if you ever want to hire an ISA, right? Like an ISA out of the country, you never want to pay for them to call for 8 hours, because they're not going to be able to focus at the time. We can't even do it. We're paid to do this. So just imagine somebody from from another country trying to call for us for 8 hours. It's impossible. So the max I would pay somebody for is like 3 or 4 hours. So anyways, amount of time wasted, right? We have to be super clear, super intentional. Nikki, I took a class with Nikki Miller. I don't know if you guys know who this is. She has a team in 30 market centers within Keller Williams. 30 market centers. So she is a big dog. That being said, she talks about, she doesn't time block. And I know it's against, and I'm not telling you guys not to time block. You can do whatever you want. However, what she does is that she has a checklist of what she needs to do. And if she gets done, let's just say I need to do 20 contacts, 2 appointments, 1 escrow. If she gets done by 10 a.m., her day is done. Right? How much more intentional would you be from 8 to 10 if you knew, shoot, all I have to do is these 3 things and I'm done for the day?
Yeah.
You'd be done. You would for sure finish those within 2 hours. Or you can take 12 hours, it's up to you. But why not compress the time and give the rest of the time back to your family, right? If you're hitting your goals anyways. So that's just another way to look at things, right? I'm not telling you it's right or wrong. It's just another perspective. So your fear of the phone. Oh my God. This is like a non-negotiable. You have got to decrease your fear of the phone. And I'm sorry to tell you, there's no way around it. There's literally no way around it unless you're like Abril, who
stop.
She has all the clients coming to her, and she just has such high feminine energy, and they just come, oh, hey, yo listo. Estamos listo. But the rest of us, we have to get over the fear of the phone. We got to pick up the phone and we have to make the phone calls, because there's only 2 ways to get business. It's people you know and people you don't know. And usually that circle of people you don't know is always going to be bigger. And if you ever want to grow your business, you have to tap into that circle of people you don't know. I think that's a good, let's sit on this for a little bit. What do you think about this, Marilu? Obviously, you don't have a fear of the phone.
No, because the phone makes me money daily.
The phone makes me money.
Actually, I'm always telling everybody, I'm telling to the public, I love my phone. I love my computer. I love my voice. I love my accent. Sometimes they don't like it. It's okay, but you know what? I'm always looking for one yes. But remember, when you're making a phone call, you're always looking and waiting for somebody who is going to say yes. When I'm making my phone calls, I'm always having in my mind, yes, you my next appointment. Invite me over to your house. When I'm, having the conversation with the person, with the prospect, when you are going to be able not to have a fear about the phone, that's when you are going to see great results. You know, you're making calls, you're nervous, you're sweating. I was having a nervous. I was sweating before when I was making calls. But you know what? One day my coach told me, if you are going to have the same symptoms daily over and over, you need to find something else. You need to find another job. You have to find a part-time and say, no, why? This is my job and I need to be able to make phone calls. And I don't care if somebody is going to say, why are you calling me? Where do you get my number? It's okay. They don't know me. I don't know them. I'm always looking for one yes. Don't feel the nervous about the phone. Get the phone, get ready. But you know what? In order for you to get ready, making phone calls, you have to sharpen your skills. You have to practice daily. You have to role play daily. You have to be ready when you're making phone calls. This is going to be a great difference when you're ready to making a phone calls. When the opportunity comes, you have to be ready and get the opportunity. But, you know, you have to work daily. Practicing the phone, practicing daily, that's when you are going to get better in the phone. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Is there anyone that's really scared of the phone? If you are, okay, I don't know if they would be able to raise their hand. I don't know if they would. If you are scared, okay, perfect. So I'm going to give you a stat, right? Since you're scared of the phone. So did you know that 70% of all clients who do a transaction work with the first agent that calls them? Mm-hmm. So think of how many people you are missing out by not speaking to them. And you know what's the biggest fear why people are scared? And it's because of this. So tell me, why are you scared of the phones? What I know why would you say you're scared of the phones?
Okay. Well, it's not that I'm scared of the phones. It's like, why do I have to do it? You know, the same way that the people thinks that social media is not efficient and is a waste of time. I believe the same thing about the phones. I believe that just to be a successful agent, we need to connect with people. It doesn't matter how we connect with them. I do it through social media. I connect with them. They call me. They text me. Abril, I want to buy a house. Abril, I want to buy a house. Abril, I want to buy a house. Abril, I already got pre-approved. I need a house for $550. I still do my job. My job is to do videos. My job is to be in social media. That is my job. My job is not make phone calls. And I'm still successful and I still close deals and I still connect with people and I get more probably pre-approval letters than you guys. So I do the work. So it's not the universe or the source or whatever. That helps too. But I do my work.
No, you're crushing it. No, for sure. So what you have is you have your own way of connecting with people. And no, you're absolutely right. So like I said, outside of yourself, right? Because you actually do production, you already have your line of business, right? Like you have your pillar of business, which is great. You know what pillars you're going to be able to make connections with. So you don't actually have a fear of the phone. You just have a different pillar. So I guess this question was for somebody who doesn't have a social media pillar, who is scared of the phones. Yeah, I don't. So I don't think anybody here is scared of the phones, but if you are, and I'll just share it. So the reason why most people are scared is because they don't have the answers to the objections that they're going to get. So that's what we're looking at. If you don't have the answers to the objections, then of course you'll be scared of the phone. But once you learn the answers to the objections, dude, making phone calls is easy, right? So that's what we're getting at, right? So anyways, let's keep moving.
And Richard, going back to the same, having a fear of the phone, it's because daily we have the same objections. It's the same. Why we don't practice those? Why we don't memorize those? It's the same daily. Why are you calling me? Where do you get my number? I'm not planning to sell. Well, I don't have I never find a replacement home. What is the commission? How do you are going to be able to get my property sold? It's the same daily. Why we have to be nervous about the objections? Are the same.
Yeah, the objections are always going to be the same. And if we use NLP and we learn how to solve them, then we're never, then it's not a fear anymore, right? And the great part about it is if you use social media, you use the phones, and you really master these pillars, then you can control how much business you want to do, right? Because if you learn how, okay, you know what? I know that if I speak to 40 expireds, I'm going to get one appointment. And then eventually it's going to be, oh, well, every time I speak to 38 expireds, it's going to be one appointment. And then eventually it's going to be, oh, every time I speak to 20 of them, it's going to be an appointment. And now you get to have a predictable business, right? And that's our goal, is once we get over the fear of the phone, we can have a predictable business. And we know, based off our skills and somewhat a little bit of what the market is doing, right? The market, it takes more calls. We'll have a predictable business. And we know if we do so many contacts every single day, so many appointments every single day, then we're going to get X amount, right? That's why you guys write your business plans and you're like, you know what, in March, if I do, I don't know, 2,000 calls, I know I'm going to speak to 100 people, and out of those 100, I'm going to get, you know, I don't know, 4 listings. But that's when you have a predictable business. So that's why you have to get over your fear of the phone, if the phone is going to be your pillar. So let's keep moving. All right, so your time in the office. As you can see, some people are on the road today. I see a lot of you guys in the cars today. So that's great. We definitely got to get out of the office. When you're in the office all day long, that means you're not in front of clients. So we have to get out of the office. And the only way to get out of the office is to set appointments. So our goal should be to decrease our time in the office. So how do we set up pillars or sources of leads to where I'm just doing my appointments all day long? Because if you're in the office, that means you're not doing business. So we have to decrease our time in the office. Does that make sense? Yeah. You got to get some miles on your car so you can buy a new one. All right. What do you want to say about this, Mailu?
Yes. Well, you know, sometimes agents, they work from home via Zoom. They have an office. You know, I do have a small little office. I'm always here daily, same time, because I highly respect my schedule, but I'm always going to an appointment, come back. If I don't have an appointment in the evening, I'm going back to my phone. I'm always going to an appointment, going to sign the disclosures, meeting with the buyer to see one of my listings. I'm always going in and out, in and out daily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Good. And you don't want to be 3 hours at one appointment either. So you're going to be quick, in and out. Oh, I wanted to hit that one more thing. Oh, well, I don't know what you guys do over there, but I know for my team, we do a lot of internet traffic. So one thing that Nikki shared with us that I want to share with you guys is she said, and this is looking at your database, okay? A lot of us are letting our database slip through the cracks and go buy or sell with somebody else. So she said, if you let me call your database and I find $50,000, you have to go do the work, but I get paid for it. So if me or Mailu or Abril or one of the top people here in this group were to call through your database right now, if we called your SOI and your leads, would we find $50,000 just sitting there right now? I guarantee it. I guarantee there's probably 50, there's probably 100,000 plus. So that's why we have to remember, to go back to our database. Oh, for sure, 1 million in Marilu's, like easily, because she's always looking for the next deal. Like, just let me look at you. Just let me do your follow-up. I think Bella might have a lot too, because she goes after luxury. So I don't know. I'm gonna call her database. But yeah, so just remember, we gotta. I'm thinking about it. So do the work. I'll do the work, but I'm gonna take the money though. So, but yeah, I'm telling you, we have a lot of money just sitting in our database. So don't forget to follow up, have systems in place. Maybe have a weekly emailer that you send out. Maybe have a monthly text. There's a lot of things that you can be doing. You know, I use an app called Hit 'em Up. It's an app that allows me to text my whole entire SOI. from my cell phone. So they know it comes from my number, not from some random number. So, all right, anyways, not maximizing your investment. This is number 5, not maximizing your investment. So right now, what part of your business are you not maximizing? It's called Hit 'em Up, Bella. I'll send it in the group after this. Does anybody want to share what investment in their world they are not maximizing? Whether it's leads, their time. Let's see, what are you guys not maximizing right now? Leads. Okay, what else? What is this? Somebody is unmuted.
Collins.
Okay. Marilu?
Yes, well, for me, I'm working on everything. I'm working on my social media, English and Spanish too, because Shari wants me to posting at least 2 or 3 videos per week. I was not doing this before, but now I'm going all in. I'm doing my NODs, I'm doing the floor closure, I'm doing the for sale by owners, expires, the cancellations. And now I was not doing before, just listed and just sold. So now I just buy a new system that I'm starting doing that. Maybe I was just procrastinating, not doing that and looking for that business because nobody is calling and touching these clients. So I think not maximizing it was my just listed and just sold. But now I'm doing everything and I have a schedule. Actually, I have in my phone that I have to do everything daily and order.
Nice. Okay, very cool. Eric said database, which, yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody that gets 100% on their database. However, like at least being aware of it and having systems in place is definitely something that we should all have. We should have at the bare minimum, every single lead should be on a drip. Email, and if your CRM does text as well. I just literally personally moved CRMs because I realized that I was manually texting a lot of people. So I moved databases or CRMs to make sure this could happen. So not maximizing your investment. So I think there's something that I'm going to share with you guys if you guys want to do it. There is,
Rich.
if you guys want to write this down. So you're going to go into Google Forms, okay? And you're going to ask yourself these questions, okay? And this is how you're going to improve your systems. You are going to, let's just say it's Friday evening or Saturday morning. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure that during the week you're writing down your schedule, writing down what you're actually doing. You're going to write down during your week, what did I do today, or what did I do this week that I probably should have handed off? Right? You're going to find out what those low activity projects that you've been working on during the week are, so that way you can replace them with higher activities. So if it's Marilu, maybe it was admin work, maybe it was a home inspection. She probably didn't need to be at a home inspection. Maybe she could have replaced, send another agent, or maybe sent somebody else, because during that hour or 2 hours, she could have probably been setting up appointments. You know, maybe you spent 3 hours setting up posts for social media, and maybe you need to have templates in place, right? So that way, instead of spending 3 hours, it's 5 minutes. Now it's very fast. So anyways, the first question was, what did I do this week that I probably should pass off? And then next, the next question is, do I need a person, a tool, or a system to replace it? So that way, maybe you might not be in a financial position to hire somebody as a person, but maybe you can put a tool or a system in place. And now the next time you do this, it's going to be super quick. And then the third question, the third thing you're going to have in that Google form is, when does this need to be done by? And then, yeah, you're gonna take that link, you're gonna save it into your calendar, and every single week you're gonna audit your week and figure out what you need to work on. And now every single week you're like, okay, you're getting better and better and better and better and better, because now you're putting maybe 1, 2, 3 processes in every single week, and you're going to be so much more efficient because now you're maximizing your investment, right? Which your biggest investment is your time. Your biggest investment is your time, because you can't replace it. You literally cannot get your time back. So that's why when you start doing these activities that take, that you have to keep doing over and over, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, okay, how can I replace this? What can I put in place so that way I don't have to do it every single day or every single time? So that's how I want you guys to start thinking about, how can I scale myself? So anyways, that's the form. I have a physical one. I'll share with you guys a little bit later, and I'll show you guys one I do. And basically every single week you'll get to see, which is really cool. You'll get to see your results, or there's a spreadsheet that's attached to it. And every single week you'll see, oh man, I worked on that system, I worked on that system. And within a few months, you'll see all the systems you worked on. So I know this is exciting for all of you, but it's exciting for me. So next thing, time spent with the unmotivated. Oh my God. I have some stories about this. I remember the first person that I took to show houses. I showed them like 8 houses. They came from San Diego, showed them 8 houses. They were like a friend. They were like a family of a member of a friend that I have. And I showed them like 8 houses, and they didn't make any decisions on any of the houses. They weren't pre-approved or nothing. They still haven't bought a house to this day, but I spent hours with them. So this right here, pre-qualing every buyer and seller is a non-negotiable. So Marilu, did you want to share on this one?
Yeah, actually I have one of the agents here at the office. Her name is Pilar, and I was telling her that she have a client that she already showed few homes, and she's still looking to see more. And sometimes she didn't respond the text or the phone call. And I was telling her, well, this is your client, Jennifer. Yeah, that's why we had to, and especially, when we're making phone calls, when you keep making and adding more people into your database or having more contacts, you had a replacement. If you are having a client who is not 100% ready to buy or ready to sell, replace that with somebody else. That's why we have to be able to prospect more. When you prospect more, you don't have to tolerate these people.
That's absolutely right. That's true. Can I share something?
Yes.
Go for it, Eric.
Yeah, I had a client who was really good qualifying, economically prepared, but mentally he was not preparing. I feel like I was wasting my time, so I had to let him go because he was fighting for every dollar and their budget when he qualified for way more.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think the reason why we put up with a lot of these clients who, they're just not worth it at the end of the day, and they're not motivated, is because lack of prospecting. If you prospect more, and you know what it is, actually, I'm going to take it deeper. It's because you haven't built up enough relationships that are looking to transact, right? If you have a bunch of relationships who are looking to buy or sell, you don't have to work with all of them anymore. You can start referring them out. But when you decide that you're not going to build relationships and you're just going to do the one night stands, the hit it and quit it with all of your leads, it's impossible to build up connections. So yeah, I love that. Good job on letting that client go. So get quickly, right? That's why buyer pre-qual, seller pre-qual, we have to know it like the back of our hand. Okay, what do they need to know? What's the criteria for them to sell? Okay, they fit that, or they don't. What's the criteria for them to buy? They fit that or they don't. And if they don't fit that, then what's the plan to get them there? But we don't need to be spending millions of hours doing this. So okay, so next one is being passive. So I know that this is something that I fall victim to sometimes, is sometimes I'll be too passive, you know, but I'm a lot better at it now. I used to be a little bit more passive. So what does this mean? I don't know if you've ever heard this. If it's for me, it'll come to me. It's like one of the worst things ever. Because nobody's going to kick your door down today and be like, hey, here's $1 billion. It's impossible. You got to do the work. I'm sorry. You have to do the work. Yes, we want it, but we also have to do the work. It has to be combined with work, with hard work, right? There's nobody that's a top producer that doesn't do the work. You know, it's impossible. So don't be passive. We have to decrease it. We have to find a sense of urgency. And if you don't feel urgent, if you don't feel like you need to get, you know, if you don't feel that urgency right now, it's probably because you don't have a timeline, or you have a spouse that's supporting you, so you don't have to make it happen, right? I know I see that sometimes. So make your goals so big that you have to grow into them. Your goals can't be I want to walk, you know, like let's say I'm a fitness trainer, or, you know, let's say I want to get in shape, and my goal is, I don't know, I want to walk a mile. Well, I mean, I'm not going to have any sense of urgency. I can do that right now. You got to have a goal you can grow into. So, I don't know if anybody struggles with being passive, but got to have a sense of urgency, got to have big goals. That's the only way. And be around people who want it. When you're around people that really, really want to succeed, just because you're around them by law of proximity, you're going to be that. Bella, why do we have the sad eyes right now? What's going on with you? You put me, is that you?
I meant because I'm like that person that doesn't have the urgency, but I know I can do it.
Yeah. So we're okay. Well, I'm curious. Where do you think the gap is between you and having that sense of urgency right now? Like, what is that goal that you want to hit, but you don't feel like you need to hit it right now?
I would say getting my first property. I think it's about time.
Oh, like to buy a property?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And how far are you away from that? I'm asking.
Maybe one sale away. I don't know.
One sale away. So what would it feel like if you were to get that sale? And then, actually, what would it feel like if you were to get those keys in your hand?
Fucking amazing.
I love that. I love the energy. Okay. So why do you feel that so if you feel fucking amazing, right? We're gonna use your language because I want to connect with you. If you feel like that, so what's stopping you from making it happen today?
I know it's me. Like I'm so blessed, thank God. But I know it's me. Like,
so do you think it's a priority or an option for you?
I should have it as a priority, but I see it as an option. So I need to change my mind.
Got you. So how do we make it a non-negotiable for you?
Honestly, the only time that I worked, and Mary Lou knows this, is when I had to pay one of my friends $500 a day if I didn't make 20 contacts. And that's actually how I got my $7 million listing. But I literally only worked for like 2 months. That was it.
Yeah.
Consistently. So I feel like if I have to give money, then that makes me like, okay, then I have to do it.
Okay. So your pain, or so I guess your motivator is pain and loss. Like that's how you get going. So I think we definitely need to put you and Miss Wonderful Mary Lou. I think you guys need to connect so that way you guys can have some type of, you know, goal in place and a commitment in place. Because it doesn't sound like you're committed. If you were committed, you would have made it happen already.
Of course, I know.
So yeah. I'll let you guys handle that later. So, okay, no, you got this. I trust Mary Lou to handle it. So, all right, let's keep moving. Hours worked. All right, so this is gonna throw you guys a curveball, right? I'm telling you to work less so you can make more money. But I think that earlier, what we talked about was, what we talked about was Eric works 4 hours a day. Real works too, but she sells 80 something houses. Well, why is it like that? It's because of the intention behind it. The more intentional you are, or actually the less you work, the less time you have to actually accomplish this goal. Meaning you're going to get more done with less time, and you're going to be intentional. So it's called Pareto's principle. I believe it's Pareto's. Yeah, it's Pareto's. So all work fits to will shrink to fill the time allotted. So essentially, however much time you give yourself is how much time is needed to accomplish a goal, right? Within reason. It's not like, hey, I can take 100 listings in 1 hour. I mean, maybe, I guess if we developed a system that generated incoming listings and you had all the leverage in place, yeah, maybe. However, all work fits the time, fills the time allowed, essentially. So if we are intentional hour per hour, we know exactly what we want to get done, we're going to get it done. But if you give yourself 2 hours, it'll happen in 2 hours. Give yourself 10 hours, it'll happen in 10 hours. It's totally up to you. I'm like one of the greatest, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys are too. Well, probably half of you. I remember when we did this class. I'm one of the best productive procrastinators. I really am. If you give me 8 hours to do it, at 7 hours and 30 minutes in, I'm gonna get it done in the last 30 minutes. Is anybody else like that? If you are, I mean, it's cool. Like type in the chat yes, or just say it. I'm curious. Oh, DeKayla, there you go. That's the comeback queen right there. Comeback kid right there. Who else is a productive procrastinator? Let me see. Oh, okay. Very cool. So anyways, some of you guys are awesome. You guys are super productive. You guys get it done right off the job. But if you decrease the hours that you're going to work, you're going to get more done. It's a weird principle. So plus our families deserve it, right? Our families deserve us to work less so that they can enjoy us more. So let's make sure we're intentional about our time, so we can make more money in less time. So, I mean, I'll tell you guys some of my goals. My goal in 3 years is I want my revenue share to be at 30,000 plus per month. And I want my team income to be at $50,000 per month. So I want to make $80,000 passively per month in 3 years. And I only want to work 20 hours. Well, actually, I don't know. It's kind of maybe 16 hours. Yeah. Like because I want to travel. Like I want to travel, get an RV. However, I still want to be able to coach, inspire, grow people. Because the more people that I can help make $100,000, I mean, the more I win, and that's the goal. So, anyways,
can I go a little bit deeper into this?
Yeah, go for
it. We share the goals that we have, right, and intentions daily, right?
Yep.
And I noticed that you have a great goals, you have a great intentions, but you already start paying the price.
Yeah.
How many hours you've been working for the last 3-4 months?
Oh, dude, I work like 10, 12 hours every single day though. Like right now, I'm putting in all the time.
That's the difference.
I have to set everything up. It's not like I can work 4 hours now. Yeah. But I have to set everything up.
So that's the difference, that you already start paying the price in advance in order for you to make more money in the future. But sometimes agents, they want to make money now, but they don't sacrifice, they don't pay the price before. So that's why we had to, if you're planning to make an extra money in this business, if you're planning to be the #1 listing agent, we had to pay the price. And after it's going to be, we are going to have a better life, better style. But sometimes we want everything now, today. It's not today. We had to put some hours. We had to practice daily. We had to be on the phone. We had to, recording some videos. We had to put everything in order for us to have a better life after.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You got to put everything in place right now. It's the only way. And I think a lot of us, we saw our friend Danny. We saw Danny do it. Dude, he went from freaking probably 6 figures to 7 and 8 figures like that. It was like very quickly. It was like in 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So, I mean, why not you? Why not me, right? We grow to the level of, I want to leave you guys with this. We grow to the level of questions that we ask ourselves, right? Or the questions that other people ask of us. So whatever your goal is, I promise you, it can always be something bigger. And if you ever want to accomplish anything, if you ever want to get anything done, right, and you don't know the answer, I'm gonna teach you the formula right now. So just figure out what your goal is, right? Okay, does somebody have a goal? Somebody share their goal. Doesn't matter who it is.
Come on, team, let's share. Who wants to go?
Anyone have a goal?
Like what type of goal? Like real estate business?
Anything. Or... Okay. Bella wants to buy $1 million. Let's say Bella wants to buy a $5 million home.
Of investment property. And my other goal is to be able, because I volunteer twice a month at an orphanage, to be able to transform their orphanage. So I don't know, maybe like 20, like in the next 20,000 in the next 4 months, which is not bad. It's only like 5,000 a month.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, so you want to donate that, or you want to make that?
Well, you know, this is the thing. I was actually talking to my brother about this. So I feel like I just have to do it myself, because if people donate, when I ask them for stuff that I need, they're like, no, it's donation based. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
so
how
you
Leo
want to donate
does...
20,000?
Yes. Put it that way.
Okay. So let's just say you want to donate 20,000. Okay. You want to do it in 4 months. Okay. So how can you get this done in 4 months? What is going to be your revenue stream?
I don't know.
Okay. So how do you make money now?
How do I make money now? Social media, my boyfriend, and my family. I'm a trust fund baby.
Okay, you're trust fund baby. Okay, that's fine. All right. So you know what? How about this? Who do you know that makes the money that you want to make right now?
My boyfriend.
Okay, so your boyfriend. Now, is your boyfriend willing to teach you that skill or pay you for that?
I have not asked him, but he's just like, I mean, do something, do whatever you want, just do something. And this is what I've been told. I want to live a luxurious life without having to work for it. But I actually like to volunteer, and I actually like to create stuff. And I feel like I can't do anything if I'm not inspired to do it.
Gotcha. And what inspires you?
Love.
Love. Okay. Love for what?
Children, family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love for children and family. And how important is it for you for that love that you're going to express to the children and family that you care about?
How important? Very important.
Is it very important? Like, is it like life-changing important? Like, if you don't get this done, then they're not going to feel the love that you want to give them.
So this is the thing. I feel like money drives a lot of people, right? But I feel like whether I have the money or I don't have the money, but I want to do something, somehow, some way, it always gets done. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's my problem when I'm doing calls. I mean, I'm helping one of my friends. She does life insurance, and I literally did in 2 hours. I did like 5 appointments for her. And I was like, this is so easy. Like, why am I not doing this for my business? Right. And then I don't know. I guess I'm like in my comfort zone or something. But that's why even going to houses or like going to appointments in nice areas, it doesn't scare me. I don't have that fear. I just feel like I can walk somewhere and just do it. But I don't know, I need to work on my mind for sure.
Okay. Well, I think that's your norm. Like, I think your norm, that world is your norm. However, for you to move, you need something that's going to inspire you. And I think you're going to have to go You're gonna have to go deeper. You're gonna have to figure out what makes you happy. And once you figure out what actually makes you happy, like, and it sounds like it's love for children, right? If you're passionate about being a philanthropist, right, you're gonna have to figure out, okay, how do I become a better philanthropist, or how do I improve in giving and growing? So you know what? I feel like this is a great conversation that we can have offline. So I don't want to take up the whole time talking about this, but this is great. So anyways, what ahas did we get from today, guys? Like, what are we going to implement into our business so that way going forward, we're not gonna be dealing with this. Just go ahead and chat it over. Let me see, chat or just say it out loud. What are you guys going to make sure that
just implementation, put everything in action. Just take action, that will say for me.
Okay, so taking action. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So taking action specifically with what?
Well, my thing is my morning routine. That's what I'm gonna start, like getting up early and working out. And just my goal is to work only 6 hours a day.
Okay. So getting up early, working out, and doing that. And how are you going to make sure that it happens?
I have Marilu here. She's already looking at me like.
Oh, she's looking at you. Okay. You're getting the evil eye. That's
sure
perfect.
That I make it happen.
Yeah. And then what happens if you don't do it?
I think if I don't do it, the only problem, it's going to affect me. It's really not going to affect Marilu or anybody else. So like, we don't sell, we don't get paid. So it's going to affect obviously your family. So by now doing the things that you say that you're going to do, you're only affecting you and your family. That's what I think.
So how is it important? So have you told your kids that this is important to you?
Oh, yes. My daughter is like, how many contacts do you have, any appointments and things like that? So.
Every day?
Sorry?
You said every day?
Oh, yeah. She asks me every day.
You should tell her, have you promised her that you'll take her to like Disneyland or something?
Yes, actually, we're going to Disneyland right now by the end of the month of April.
Oh, okay. So I guess you need a new goal for April.
Yes. Well, my personal goal is just that I want to build a new house. So I need to be focused because I need to get some of the money for the down payment. So
good.
So it's a good goal. It's going to keep me motivated.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think it's important to let your kids know, let your spouse know, like, let somebody know what your goal is and have them hold you accountable. There's nothing worse than your kids being like, wait, we can't go to Disneyland?
Yeah.
Like, it's like breaking my heart right now. They're like looking up at you. Mom, Dad, wait, we can't go.
Exactly.
And they have their little beady eyes. I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Bella's going to stay consistent. Letty is 100. Okay. What else are we going to implement for sure? Like it can't just be something generic. It has to be, I'm going to make the calls. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to take my phone and while I'm prospecting, throw it away, right? I just threw my phone. Hopefully it's still alive. So whatever it is, I'm going to implement it. What are you guys going to implement? I said I want to, but how? Okay, we're going to talk about that, Bella, later. We're going to talk about that. Who else is going to implement something from today? Whether it's spending less time with unmotivated clients, letting your ego come down, everything, okay? So, Marilu, did you want to wrap us up?
Well, actually, the last that you was having and asking a question. So I just want to go back and say for me, when COVID hits, I added an extra hour and it was my best year in closings. So now, since this is like a COVID second phase, a new market, I'm adding an extra hour daily. Number one, I'm going back to read my books and getting better in my scripts. And now I'm going to be part of the mastermind with these people in San Diego. So I need to get better in order for me to be close to these people. I don't want to be like, I'm nervous, I'm sweating. I just want to go and say, you know what? I'm ready to grow my business and my team. That's why I'm here. And I'm adding an extra hour daily.
You know what I love about that? And I'm just gonna add this. So right now the market is retracting.
Yep.
Okay. And all of us that are working and getting clients, we are gonna have, let's just say we have 10% of the clients right now. When it grows, we still get to have 10% of the clients. However, there's more people.
Mm-hmm.
So your market share is going to grow with you as the market expands. So right now, however much market share you're getting, it's going to grow as the market gets better. So right now is when we want to do the extra hour, extra 2 hours to grow. That being said, I wanted to ask Abril, do you want to teach a social media class for us this month in March or April?
Yes, my friend, say yes.
We've been waiting for you, but we haven't asked you yet.
I don't know what you guys want to learn.
We want to know what your best practices are. Well, I'll help you put it together. But what do you do daily, weekly, monthly?
I can do it. Yeah.
I love it.
Maybe we can have a Zoom call together, go over the program and then offer to everybody for free, you know. I would love to share this with everybody because we want everybody to grow. As you can see, how many we have today? 16 people. We started with 40, 41, 45, 20, 30. So that's the difference between us and everybody who's coming in and out, in and out. Consistency is the number one. That's the key number one on this business. That's the difference between you guys, me, and everybody, and the people who's coming in and out. That's the difference. We need to go after the buyer sellers at this moment, and that's why we are going to get better 1% daily because we show up daily. That's the difference, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. This is a great class. You don't have to pay anything. This is a free for everybody, and buy your friends and buy, you know, especially at this moment, like 50% of the lenders, I think they was saying, I don't know what is the exactly percentage, but they were saying that 50% of the lenders, they already leave the industry. What is the percentage for agents? If you have a friend who is leaving the business, looking for part-time, put it into this group.
Yep, you're absolutely right. 40% of lenders and 40% of agents have already exited the business. So you guys are the lucky few that are still here. So I'm glad that you're here. Like, I really want to see all of you grow because I was you guys not too long ago. Like just a couple years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Hey, Rich.
What's up, Desale?
What's up, everyone? Sorry,
Sorry, you're on mute. Or wait, I can't hear you.
Lenders and okay, hold on.
There you go. Now I can hear you. No, I can't hear you again.
I think he has the percentage for lenders or agents.
Maybe he has the percentage. Let's see. Oh, here, let me
unmute.
Here you go.
Share with us, please.
I think it's because he had his headphone in. Okay, let's see.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So now I was just
stop the recording, Richard.
Okay, here, let me stop it. I'll stop real quick. And then